what would you need to add another digit to the company's revenue?
More content.
May I challenge this a bit?
Yeah, please.
Welcome to Stories from Your Future Self. Unlike most podcasts who just interview high performers, on this podcast, I create deep, powerful breakthroughs for my guests in 15 minutes or less. We amplify their confidence, their revenue, their results, and get them closer to their big dreams. I'm Bogdan, and my clients call me the fastest coach in the world, partially because of my martial arts background, but mainly because I see what most people miss. And I do in minutes what most business or mindset coaches do in months. Now let's dive in, because these insights will help you with your own personal breakthrough, getting you closer to your dreams. We are here with Patrick Boylan. He is a skilled multi-instrumentalist with a deep passion for self-education. He's also the founder of MuseFlow, an application that revolutionizes music learning by emphasizing the development of bite-sized skills through sight reading. We have to get a bit into what sight reading is, because I have no idea. I'm not a musician, so I'm looking forward to that. It basically, in a nutshell, it allows you to have a customized approach to your preferences if you're if you want to learn music, and it gives you lessons that you can learn, or indications that you can learn at your own pace, at your own skill level, allowing you to adjust the tempo, complexity of the music. Basically, you get to be challenged but not overwhelmed. Beautiful. Patrick, I'm excited to dive in. It looks like you've built a revolutionary product in business, so looking forward to adding to that. Tell us a bit more. How did the business start? What's the story behind it?
Well, I took 8 years of lessons and I hated every second of it. I did not like the way that we're traditionally taught. It's the traditional way that we're taught is you're given a new skill, whether that's a new note or a new rhythm, by your teacher, and then they give you a song or two to go home and practice that, repeat that to perfection, come back, and they check it off as correct or not correct. And then you have to go home and practice that again. Or you get another song with a new skill and a new note, or whatever it may be. So it doesn't work for me. I felt like I was learning in isolation. I wasn't learning this cumulative sort of way. I was just learning songs. You never took lessons when you were younger, right?
It's kind of like, I taught martial arts for 6 years, so it's kind of like me telling a student, go out, pick a fight, film yourself, and come back, and I'll tell you what you did wrong.
Exactly. It doesn't work. You're not the first person, by the way, to compare the errors in music education with the possible errors in martial arts.
Right.
You all teach it correctly, in my opinion. The similarities between martial arts and music education, or at least piano playing and any instrument playing, is that it's a kinesthetic understanding of what you need to play, of what you need to do. Same thing with martial arts, right? You have the rudiments, you have the movements that you need to learn outside of a spar. Now, the problem with music education is we immediately go to that spar. We immediately go to that song. And so what if there was a way to teach music, teach the rudiments of playing your instrument outside the context of songs? That's what MuseFlow is. And so after these 8 years, right, I did not like it. My teacher then ended up retiring. And I went back to my parents' sheet music, and I found these little bites, these chunks, whether that's a pattern or like a rhythm or something like that, something I really enjoyed playing. I closed the sheet music, and then I started improvising around that phrase. I started putting it in all of these different contexts. I put it in my right hand. I put it in my left hand. I inverted the phrase. I literally did it backwards. I changed up the rhythm a bit. I made it faster. I made it slower. I really fleshed it out, right? And then I was like, that's very fun. That's a very fun and also very effective, because I learned that little bite chunk very, very well. I just did that over and over and over for years. So that's ultimately what MuseFlow ends up being. So we can get into it later, but that's That's the root of
That's
it.
really smart. To kind of keep the martial arts analogy, that's what great martial artists do or are capable of doing. You know, you have the basics, but then you mix those basics up. Sometimes you, like you said, you play them, you do them backwards, right? You establish a rhythm and then you break the rhythm. That's what all like fighting is. You create like one, two, a pattern, and then you break that pattern. And that's how you break, you know, your opponent's defense.
Oh,
And
interesting.
mm-hmm,
That's
mm-hmm.
so interesting.
I want to get into that. Like I see a light bulb.
Yeah, I find that fascinating because again, you're like, well, you're playing with other people and you're trying to break the other person,
Yes.
right? And so it is a competition in its essence. The the thing, the parallel, I guess, in that regard would be use a variety of different contexts to learn the basics of music so that you can break your own pattern, so that you
Mm-hmm.
can kind of adjust dynamically whenever you see those patterns in sequence inside of a song.
And I think your approach is a very freeing approach because if you're only practicing said songs, you're kind of captive to what is.
Mm-hmm.
You're not really able to build something new, to create something new, something that's never existed before, right? It's kind of like all of these pop songs. It feels like they're all being sung by the same girl, and
Right.
it's all the same song. It's like you
Yeah.
hear one, you heard them all.
Right. Yeah, the problem with learning the songs is that you just simply learn the song. And you
Yeah.
learn each little bite-sized chunk in that specific sequence. You can't dynamically shift it based on other songs that you want to play. It's not how musicians, like what the skill set you need to be a professional pianist or a professional musician.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a classically trained pianist, if you're a classical musician, there are only 300 to 400 solo piano pieces that you can play within that genre. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. Okay. With a symphony or without a symphony, it doesn't matter. The solos are the same, the songs are the same. So, sure, if you want to learn those songs, great, go for it. But that's not applicable to other genres. That's not applicable to being a professional musician or a hobby pianist or a hobby instrumentalist. It's just not. You're going to get dozens of songs that you need to be able to play, hundreds, and you need to be able to play them at first sight. That's the joy of being able to play music, to ask yourself those questions. Okay, why am I playing this song? What about this song do I want to emote?
Mm.
I want to tell the story of that song. So I want to get you there personally, Patrick, me. I want to get you there faster so that you can start making those questions, so you can start answering those questions with yourself. And that's ultimately what raising the bar of the ability to sight read, to be able to
Mm-hmm.
read music at first sight.
Hmm.
That's what we want to get you to a place of being able to play higher so that you can start making those musicianship questions, answering those.
Very, very powerful. And I can feel the passion, you know, behind your mission. And we love to overcome. I feel like in so many different industries, the biggest gatekeepers are making it really complicated for new people to come in,
So true. So
right?
true. Yeah.
It, it's like, you know, accounting or being a lawyer. It's all like you have to learn this very complicated lingo to say the same stupid thing you're gonna say anyway as a human, right? But no, you have to learn the lingo first.
Right.
So it's the same with music. I mean, like opening the gates, I think is just enables so much more creativity in the world. I think you're doing that exceptionally well.
Thanks. We're
Um,
trying to democratize music education. That's absolutely
mm,
the key here.
I love that vision statement. Very, by the way, extremely few entrepreneurs that I meet can verbalize their vision for the company in a few words. It's extremely hard to do. So
Hmm.
well done. Well done. I
Thanks.
love that. It immediately communicates the value of the business.
Yeah. Yeah. Teaching in a very different way. teaching in a unique way, giving you music you've never seen before that never repeats at a very specific level, and giving that music to you in a gamified way where you have to play it 4 phrases of music in a row at 95% accuracy to be able to pass that level. And then once you've mastered that skill, applying it to songs that get unlocked afterwards. So we're just adding another step, but ultimately it lowers the barrier to entry. Yes, it lowers the barrier to entry to starting because this is a very engaging, gamified, fun, and effective way of learning your instrument. Yeah.
Powerful. So let's get into amplifying the business further. Are you coachable?
Am I coachable? What do you mean?
Because some people, coachable basically means taking an insight and using it.
Yes, of course. That's one of my favorite things to do, honestly. My background before I became a pianist, I moved out to LA to be an actor. And one of my favorite things to do whenever I'm on a set or in a play is to be directed. I love getting outside input and applying it immediately. It's one of my favorite things to do, to be honest.
Well, you'll find that it's going to be a mix because truth is we all have the answers within us. We're going to connect to your future self a bit because that's what the purpose of the show is, like stories from your future self. We're going to get some guidance from that future self as well. In 2 fronts. First would be, and of course, I'm going to show where I feel I can give you some external input. I will. Basically, we're going to look at revenue and then we're going to look at vision. So starting with the first, what would need to happen or what would you need to add another digit to the company's revenue?
We're working on that currently. The 2 things that are needed is a true downloadable app for tablet and mobile. Right now, we're bound by the computer and what is called a MIDI compatible keyboard, which is you have to have a keyboard that can jack into your computer. So the 2 things that are binding us in terms of growth, we're currently working on. 1, the app so that you can use your phone or tablet. And number 2, audio recognition so that you don't have to use a MIDI keyboard. What we're doing is we're allowing the device to listen to your playing and mark the notes correct or wrong based on what it hears, not from the information that is being given to by a keyboard.
So this is something you're working on already, right?
Yeah.
So we don't need to talk about it because it's already in progress. What else would you need to add? Let's say, let's go a step further to add 2 digits to the business.
More content. Unit 2 of piano would be great. Right now, we can teach you 14 notes, 4 rhythms, 3 time signatures, and what else? Polyphony, which is multiple notes at a time, right? We want to expand past that. We want to give you more notes. We want to give you more rhythms, more time signatures, all that stuff, right?
Well,
and so what we need for that is a version of a generative AI that can write the phrases of music that you're going to see. We need to be able to generate those en masse and then be able to go in there as a human and just make sure it feels right and the arc is good and the musicianship of it all makes sense. Once we're able to do that, we're very, very close. We're very, very close to be able to generate a massive amount of phrases at a very specific level so that all we have to do, we don't have to write the phrases ourselves. All we have to do is just go in there and tweak it a little bit and then ship it, right? So we're in the midst of doing that right now.
So let me see if I understand. So you have an overflow of users, but they're dropping off because they don't have enough content?
Or they're more interested in other parts of the app. So features such as like a very specific niche thing, ear training, for example. Can you hear a note and be able to tell exactly what note that is? Or can you hear a pattern and then be able to pick it out, like what exactly that pattern is on the written sheet music, right? So features like that. You need specific exercises that exercise issues that you're having within your, how you're playing. that's a whole different thing. That's machine learning. We're going to be able to recognize the patterns in your playing so that we can give you music tailored specifically to the issues that we're recognizing in there, right? So all of those things are kind of back-end features that we need to create in-house, and then they're going to influence the outer-facing features that we want to give you. Yeah.
Perfect.
So a lot of technology that we need to create here.
So what I'm hearing is systems and teams are the right team, right? And AI machine learning systems, which still need to be developed by the right people.
Yeah, we've got a really great team that's working on it right now. We've got our ML dude, we've got our AI guy. They're all working on it currently. It's just, it takes a while to develop, and so right now we've got a product out there that's selling. We are currently making our overhead, which is great. But the scalability of it comes from lowering the barrier to entry, allowing universal compatibility, and also the development of these tools that will create the music that you're going to be seeing. Yeah, so the scalability of the app as it stands doesn't really work because we would need to be able to generate an infinite amount of music. And
May I challenge this a bit?
Yeah, please.
I know there are apps that have all of these components, if not most of them. Like I know there's one that actually like listens to your music playing. I don't know how accurate it is, but I saw the ads, right? What wins in scenarios like this, like the underdog projects, which like compared to that app, you're probably currently the underdog, is the support of the community behind it, you know? Maybe here's an idea. Could you organize a competition or something? That's what I feel like maybe would be an added value for you, a stronger focus on community around the app. Because a lot of your students, a lot of your users could be, granted, it's not AI generated music, but they could be providing those snippets of music that you're looking to supplement the content with. They could be your content creators.
I love this.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Increase the amount of community that is available within the app. We've been wanting to make a community hub for a while. That's definitely a part of the vision.
You don't even need to build it inside the app. You just build it where they already are. It could be even a YouTube community, you know, like around a YouTube channel. It could be a school group around the app. It doesn't necessarily need to have the tech inside of the app, right? Because at the end of the day, like, where are you going to spend most of your time? If all of your communities are on YouTube or on what do you call them, Discord, you're probably not going to use another app unless you have like you're a super fan of that app. You're going to have a dedicated app and you're going to spend tons of time in that app. Later down the line, yes. But right now, initially, I would see a stronger community focus and kind of like, instead of seeing yourself just like as a music educational app, see yourself as a YouTube, as an Uber, where the user is also the creator.
Love it. Yeah. That's a really cool idea. I think it's crowdsource the development of these phrases.
Yeah, but we need a different... I know what you're saying, but this is part of like building the community. You need special words, right? So instead of like crowdsourcing, maybe like crowd elevation, like something like that, you know, like it needs to be the Patrick Boylan version of crowdsourcing. You know what I'm saying? That your people would really resonate and connect with, right?
People aren't gonna like resonate with, hey, can you write these phrases for us? No. Nobody's going to want that as the pitch. It's connection. It's community. It's collaboration.
What do they connect with first? The company vision, democratizing music, right? Or learning music education. That should be the first touch point. That's like, they need to understand the why, right? Because they need something to rally behind. And then it's like, guys, we're doing this really cool competition. Win a new keyboard, win a, year-long membership or whatever. Let's do like who can, create the best, whatever content you need in that sense,
Great.
right? And
Yep.
it
I love it.
you kind of
I
shoot two
love
birds
that.
with one
Because also,
stone.
like, who wouldn't want to be a part of that? You know? Oh,
Now you have user refined content that the community has voted on,
yeah, I love it.
and it has soul because that's what's missing in fucking AI, right?
Totally. It's so
Soul.
true. The soul of it all. Yeah. Humanity. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're totally right. I think it's a really cool idea, and I think we should expedite that sort of building of the community. We should bump that up. We have the idea, and of course we are thinking in-app and everything like that. But you're right. Lower the tech that is necessary to make it, and I think we need to bump that up. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, it's less about the tech, more about the team. And the
Yeah.
team is not just, your people who are working directly in the company, like extend the team.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool. I love that. Yeah. Thanks for that.
Awesome. You're very welcome. I think we've touched upon, I think we're there. I don't need to go into the big vision because this will, like, you do this right, you set up the community right, the values and everything, they will take you to the moon and back as long as it's gonna stay about them.
It needs to be about them because it's not about us. We actually had that. Like, we had it on our website. It was like our product, our team. I'm like, nobody cares about us. Like, that's so self-centered of us. It's about them. We're doing this for you.
Yeah. It's always like I always say, people follow story first and then the person sharing the story. So it's
Yes, couldn't agree more.
it's them, but it starts with the story. Like, how do they find themselves in the story, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I've heard so many different ins from MuseFlow and ones that I've never even considered, like why people are using MuseFlow. For example, there's like 3 people that use it this way in particular. They use it as the bridge between their very hard workday and them having to be present with their family.
Yeah.
Instead of vegging out in the TV, they put MuseFlow on, and it drops them into the present. They're challenged just a little bit outside of their comfort zone so that they stay engaged with the process of doing for 30 minutes in between their work and them being present at home, and allows them to translate and to transfer their energy from work into being present with their family. I'm like, fascinating, That's so fascinating to me.
These are the stories that I would share more of if I were you.
Love it. Great.
In your content, in your community, this is what I would talk about.
I mean, because that's what people gravitate towards, right? Story.
Exactly. Your content is infinite if you just ask.
Whoa, I love that. Your content is infinite if you just ask. Yeah. Because everybody's got their own unique story.
Yes.
Very cool. Couldn't agree more.
Beautiful. I think we're there. We're gonna end it on a high. Guys, absolutely check out Patrick's website, MuseFlow, his web app, coming soon to mobile and probably iPad, and with a lot of techie new features and apparently a really cool community. So
Yeah. It's coming soon to a website near you.
beautiful. Guys, check out the links in the description, and we'll see you guys next time. And hopefully, maybe we'll see Patrick in a few months and see what changed.
Let's do it. I love that. That's great. Accountability, right?
Yes, beautiful. Thank you for tuning in. And if you'd like to be featured on the show and experience your own transformational, powerful breakthrough, apply through the link in the description. And I'll see you soon.